Carlee Russell. Wow, y'all know the internet is undefeated. The comedy. I'm waiting on the memes. I guess I have to go over to Facebook and TikTok, and I don't even go on TikTok, but Instagram and all that. Because I have not seen any memes, but I've only been on YouTube so far. I'm pretty sure they're already out there. Gotta be. Because it seems to me like at this point, the whole world is convinced that it is a 99.9% chance that this woman and her family is not telling the truth. I've seen someone come on here saying they were her aunt and she's telling the whole story, and even got Willie D doing clickbait saying, he got an account from the boyfriend, and nobody believes them. I've heard that what did they say? I watched oh gosh, what is her name? I can't think of her name, but she did a video on this story, and she said that there was a statement given to the police. Something about this girl went and bought snacks. She took her snacks with her. She left her purse, but nobody said anything about her wallet. Did she take her wallet? Did she take her phone? Because if she took her phone and they're going to decide to press charges, they're going to track the mess out of that phone. But didn't they already have her phone? Because that's how they saw her searches. Unless she had another phone. You mean to tell me this girl was out here by herself without a phone? Because when you have your phone and you're calling 911 and then you're calling your brother's girlfriend, and someone is snatching you, aren't you going to drop your phone? And they're probably not going to pick it up and take it because it'll likely ping a location. A lot of people share their locations, with their families and stuff. So they don't want her phone. She's going to hold on to her phone while people are trying to kidnap her. So what was up with the phone that she had when she was calling? And again, I'm not even going to play the video again. But they showed her car. They showed her pulling over in her car. They show her getting out and walking. They never show what could have been if the baby was white. Listen, if you can see Carlee, you can see the baby. I'm going to tell you how. First of all, she said the baby was white. Then she said the baby had on a t-shirt and she couldn't tell if he had any pants on. So likely he had on a diaper. She said he was probably 3 or 4 years old. But I think we all can ascertain that Carlee is not probably that well with children. She didn't run up to the baby. Again, I done said all that. So maybe the baby was younger and she thought the baby was older. I don't know. But we would have saw the baby. Okay, we didn't see it. We witnessed the baby too small, grass too tall. Okay, whatever y'all gonna say. What about the people that took her? The people that took her, we didn't see them. We didn't see a truck. We didn't see an 18-wheeler. We didn't see anybody pull up or walk up or crawl up or something from the... No, that wasn't shown on video. If we didn't see none of that on video, the cops don't believe her. Much less all the other stuff that they got they haven't said yet. Because, this is what they do, right? This is what they do. Now, the parents, their interview, I mentioned it before. I didn't play it. I think we should look at this interview. Because the parents should not have given an interview. There is no way you're going to tell me these parents are not wealthy and they don't have an attorney. You don't have to have an attorney while your daughter is missing. Because you might say, why would they Go get an attorney. Your daughter's, if anything, a private investigator or, I don't know, a bounty hunter or somebody to go find her, right? Again, bounty hunter is a stretch, but I'm just saying, not necessarily a lawyer, right? But once she comes back, and there's all this speculation going on, and she may or may not want to tell everything because, I don't know, maybe she's afraid. She walked up to her house, so now they know where she lives. And even if they didn't, everybody knows her name. It's easy to find out who people are and where they live and where their parents work. Maybe her family was threatened. Maybe it was the mafia. I don't know. But if you're not going, this reminds me of Lorenzo Wright's wife. Y'all remember her? She, ooh, I'm going to talk about her too in another video, but this woman says she didn't have nothing to do with her. Did I say it's Lorenzen? Sorry. She says she didn't have nothing to do with his murder, but yet she goes and do an interview with, I think, Sports Illustrated, and she tells some things, like she said there was some drugs involved. No, she said there was absolutely no drugs involved. But she did say she wrote a book about domestic violence. Anybody read that book? Because now I'm curious about what she has in the book. When the interviewer asked her, did she have anything to do with his death? Did she kill him? She said, I am a mother. I am a wife. I am an author. People need to do what they're supposed to do, and we all need to know what happened to him. But I am a mother. I am an author. I am a wife. Wait, what, honey? Just say no? If the answer is no? Weird, huh? So she ends up dating the journalist. Yeah. And then he has plenty of reasons, which he gave an interview and he wrote a book about as to why he feel like, yeah, she did it. Not to mention she went to prison for it, but he came out with a book. But her interview was a big mistake. It was a big mistake. And I think that these parents' interview is definitely a big mistake. Big mistake. And I think it's going to come back to bite them in the end if this young lady was not truly kidnapped. Because we don't know yet. We're all speculating. You know, things can seem a way and not be that way. However, most people believe she was not kidnapped. If she was not really kidnapped, and these parents aren't fully participating, and they come on to give an interview to further corroborate her allegations, they're in hot water. Let's look at some of this interview.
First laid eyes on her again. What was it like?
To me, just so much joy.
This morning, in an exclusive sit-down with NBC News, the parents of 25-year-old Carlee Russell are speaking out, describing the moment their daughter appeared on their doorstep after being missing for more than 48 hours.
What did you do when you saw her? We tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state. So we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. But
okay, you tried to hug her. Okay, so did they know she was coming and the paramedics was there when she got there? Did she call them? It's so many questions. This interview was not a good idea. I don't think they had an attorney to advise them, which I cannot see being wealthy and not knowing when you need to refer to an attorney before you make a move on a situation. I'm not really buying that. So I think they're just moving on their own, thinking that they're smart. And maybe it's the street smarts or the crime smarts that they're missing, because we tried to hug her, but we had to stand back and let the paramedics do their job. So did she call the paramedics and say, I'm headed to my mother's house. I need to be seen, but I got to get home. Please meet me there. And pretty much by the time she got there, they were there, or they pulled up at the same time. They had a ring camera. They saw her walking up. Remember, that was released. But they never said they saw an ambulance simultaneously pulling up or shortly after. So how long was it between the time that you saw your daughter? Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so happy my baby's home. And you run up to them and you want to give them a big hug and just hold them and know that it's real and know that it's them. Yet you stand back so you can let the paramedics do their job. Interesting. That doesn't make any sense, okay? Now, she was in such a bad state, okay? So the mother is alluding to a statement that Carlee was pretty bad off. Yeah. Like she was bruised and beaten, not shaky and all that kind of stuff. Because the paramedics, I mean, unless they're going to give her some Valium, yeah, you're going to be shook up if you was kidnapped. And that's when you look like you need a hug the most to people. But when you're physically bruised and stuff, you don't want to hurt them more. You don't know where they're cut or stabbed or anything like that. So then you don't want to hurt them. So we're going to assume that the mother is trying to say that she was physically in bad shape from being hurt. Why was her ER visit so quick if that's the case? Why haven't we heard any reports about her being badly damaged? Actually, we heard the opposite, right?
Last Thursday, police say Carlee called 911 to report a toddler walking alone.
Let me pause it right here since they got the video up. There we go. She pulled over because she saw a toddler. Now, look at that light circle around her. Whereabout do you guys think the toddler was? Every car that passes by seems to be giving off some pretty decent light. At any point, do we see a toddler? When they showed Carlee in the video, did we see a toddler? Did we see people or a person snatching Carlee and the toddler? We didn't. Not at all.
On the interstate, she pulled over while on the phone with a family member who described...
Watch as each car passes by. There are lights shining off onto the side of the highway. If there was a toddler, we would be able to see that toddler, because if the toddler was lying down, kneeling down, if it was not to be seen by us on this video, how does she see the toddler from traveling at a highway distance? I mean, speed and from a distance to know to slow down enough to pull over. Look at how slowly her car pulled over. It was not going fast. She decided a ways back that she was going to slow down and pull over. When your tire pops, most of the time you're going to pull over quickly. But when you got to go back there and the baby dropped the pacifier and won't hush, and you got to get out and get the pacifier, you're going to be careful. You're going to slow down. Make sure the cars around you understand that you get ready to pull over. And then you're going to look for the safest spot, and you're going to start to merge over. Right? She's pulling over slowly. So, How long do you guys think it took her to get to that speed from a highway speed? We can look up the highway that she was on and look up what speed it is, but we're going to all say this probably more than 55 miles per hour. How far away do you think she had to be to reach this slow speed of probably... She brought it all the way down to 0, right? Slowly. So way back when she started to slow down, she saw a toddler and nobody else saw a baby and just didn't stop. She was the magic person that saw a baby.
Hearing Carlee scream.
Her vehicle's unlocked, running. All her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene, police found no sign of Carlee or a child, and they say no children were reported as missing during that time period. The Russells waited in agony until Saturday night.
There were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know.
People maliciously lied to you. Huh. That's very interesting. Everybody and their mama talking about this story. So nobody yet came and said, yeah, you know, my baby was missing, but we found him. My child did get out the house and make it all the way to the highway. If you have a young child, a toddler, and you live anywhere close to the highway, you're going to have a fence, or you're going to have some things going on to where it would not be that easy. We all saw Pet Cemetery for your child to get to the highway. Right? Nobody reported a child having been missing. Still.
People could be so evil.
Authorities have not indicated where Carlee was during the 48 hours she was missing.
Let me point this out too, because I ain't heard nobody say it, but I'm going to say it. Is this Carlee? Because the Carlee pictures that I'm seeing looks like a totally different person. There's a huge difference with all that stuff. This girl looked like a totally different person. But okay.
Or what happened? Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them.
I'm not saying it's a different person. Let me be clear. I'm saying she looked like a totally different person without filters, makeup, weave, lashes, penciling eyebrows, whatever else. I don't know. Completely different person.
Them citing the ongoing investigation.
And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
But
people are saying, and this is why I wanted to just go over this video and talk about it and show it, because a lot of people are saying, shame on the dad for allowing these women to pull him into this. Shame on the dad for sitting there knowing, that this is this way and all this kind of stuff. Listen, at the end of the day, if the dad and the mom was at odds about this and he said, absolutely not, I will not. If he can put his man foot down as head of the household and say, woman, you will not. And she say, okay, I will listen to you, my husband. If he couldn't do that, he could at least say, I'll be doggone if I'm finna throw my life away for this. I refuse. Tell them I'm home protecting and looking over Carlee, because at the end of the day, where is Carlee? While they over here doing the interview, who is with Carlee? Her boyfriend? Listen, boyfriend or no boyfriend, if I was there and my daughter was abducted, I don't even feel comfortable sitting over at the news station. I just kind of want to, right now, just at least for right now, I just want to keep my eye on my baby girl. You know, as a man, I just want to make sure don't nothing happen to my baby girl. Make sure she all right. And whoever dropped her off at the house, mind you, because they didn't say nothing about being concerned about people knowing where they stay and all that kind of stuff. Because I'm going to tell you, if they knew where I stayed, we got to go get them. Cops, what do you need? Please go find out who these people are. Because whether you tell or not, you still have a danger. They took your child. Allegedly. But people are saying that the father is looking a little bewildered. And he does. And he just doesn't want to be there. And he doesn't want to participate. Let me tell you something. That man is grown. Not only is he grown, he is older than Carlee and probably older than his wife. Not only that, he made it through life. Okay. And he is doing fairly well because they're living nicely. They're not struggling or anything. So he knows how to maneuver in life and carry himself, right? Okay? In order to be successful. So he knows when to make a decision and when not to make a decision and what decisions to make. He's done pretty good so far. Can we all agree on that? Okay. So if you think this grown man did not make a decision to sit there and do exactly what he did, you're sadly mistaken. Pay attention. Because they rehearsed this. That is clear to me. It is. Allegedly. They rehearsed. I'm going to say allegedly. But what I also see is him coaching her. Yes. Coaching. Yes. She's the talker. She's the one that say, I got it all together and everything because you don't lie good or whatever. I don't know. But she's probably just a speaker anyway of the two. But when she stumbles the first time, he kind of cuts his eyes down at her a little bit to say, come on, remember, get it. We rehearsed this, all right, Anime? Kind of, then he looked at her, then he rubbed her back, and he said, it's all right, okay? We just saw that. Let me rewind it so y'all can see it again. Because you probably don't.
In the 48 hours she was missing, or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation.
And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself.
When she started to say, watch his eyes look down and cut at her. Okay, now you stuttering. We had this together. Don't say the wrong thing. One wrong word.
We can't discuss that.
But they say speculation about the circumstances surrounding Carlee's disappearance are only making things worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Hold on, because I didn't go back far enough. I want y'all to see what I'm talking about. This interview is very short.
She was missing, or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation.
Okay.
Waited in agony until Saturday night.
There were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know.
Look.
People could be so evil.
Authorities have not indicated where...
See, he's comforting her through this. If he was completely not okay... Did you see Sherry Papini's husband? Did you see the one when they were just sitting in the recliners? Did you see his body language? Did you see his body language when the cops were confronting her at the end? And when they were ready to let her know, we got you? He wasn't comforting his wife because he already knew. This man is okay with this. They're making a joint decision to do this. Clearly.
Carlee was during the 48 hours she was missing, or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation.
And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
But they say speculation
when
about...
she say anything leading to the case itself, he pushing his head like he trying to help her mentally get it out also. And then when she finally said and it's right, he's shaking his head like, okay, you did good. You got that part out. This is just what I see. I don't know what y'all see, but this is what I see.
The circumstances surrounding Carlee's disappearance are only making things worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Carlee has given detectives her statement so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely.
The father's behavior tells me that this is rehearsed. And of course, before you go speak on TV, you want to make sure you understand and you're in agreement with what you guys are going to say and all that kind of stuff. So I get that part. But just the way his body language is, y'all say he's not okay with it. It's a decision that they made. He may not necessarily like the decision, but whatever is going on, whether they're all were in on it from the start, or whether Carlee did this for some odd reason and then they found out and they don't want to throw her on the bus, or they not sure what to do just yet and they still gonna stick beside her. They made an agreement to come on here and give this testimony. He's not, nobody kidnapped him to do this, y'all. He ashamed. That's why his head down. He ashamed.
Absolutely.
See?
NBC News
His
has
head went around in a circle. If y'all don't play with me, if y'all don't stop playing with me, this man, that's why she talking. Because he would have gave it away if he started talking. His head went down and around, up and down. He was getting ready to say no. Right? But then no, I'm supposed to say yes. Watch their head.
So that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
NBC News has reached out to the Hoover Police Department to ask whether they're looking for an individual involved. Police have just said they're following up on all information provided by Carlee.
And when I talk...
To me, that's clear. That they're not looking for nobody. They're investigating. They're investigating what happened. Okay? They're investigating Carlee. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You all on Saturday, you also said your daughter is a fighter and she would find a way back to you.
I felt that in my heart.
Is that what happened?
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear.
Do you believe she was...
When she said, however, we can't discuss the details of that, the father had a very uncomfortable moment. And to me, it says, because there's no details on that to discuss. But
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear.
Do you believe she was fighting for her life?
Oh, she definitely fought for her life. There were moments when she physically...
Dad, with this question, do you believe she fought for her life?
When I talked to you all on Saturday, you also said your daughter is a fighter and she would find a way back to you.
I felt that in my heart.
Is that what happened?
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
He almost took his head around in that no circle like he did before. He did it more the last time, but this time he caught himself a little bit more and he started to do the yes, but he overdid it. His whole body started rocking yes, and he gave a little chuckle because to me, and this is just me assessing it, that chuckle was, boy, you almost fucked up again. I just, this is just me, y'all. I'm just giving, the views expressed here or the opinions of Akasha, Soul Alchemy. Okay? They're just opinions. This is just commentary.
Her as a fighter, and she would find a way back to you.
I felt that in my heart.
Is that what happened?
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear.
Do you believe she was fighting for her life?
Oh, she definitely fought for her life.
I ain't gonna lie. The more I look at this, the dad looked like he was almost about to cry when she said we can't discuss the details of that. And to me, that tells me, and this is just, and I'm going through this again, y'all, because I'm back in school. And when you go through the psychology of someone who is lying or doing crime, and all of these kind of things that you study, as you're studying them, you begin to observe it in other people. You begin to look for it and all this other kind of stuff. And I just think, okay, that in that moment, he looked like he was almost about to cry, because I think the dad is very stressed, he's very worried, and he's very concerned about how this is going to turn out, because he knows it's not going to be good. And just think about his future, the mama future, and everything. So, you love your child, but how far are you willing to go? Because the daughter's future is already messed up. So I, again, don't understand why they haven't consulted an attorney, because attorney would not. R. Kelly's attorney wasn't either he didn't listen to the attorney, or attorney was just no good, because he sure shouldn't have did that Gayle King interview. And to me, this is just the same thing. It's like them going on here and doing this interview when they shouldn't have. And it could possibly be the worst damaging thing for them. For them. They could have said anything after the fact. We talked to her. We tried to get information out of her. She wouldn't tell us much. But then once we saw and knew she was lying, we told her to come clean. We told her to tell the truth. But once you come on TV and you start telling these doggone lies, and it's already clear to all of us that this is probably not real, imagine the people who birthed the child and live with the child. They know before we knew. They probably knew when they first heard. Okay, well, they probably knew before it happened. Listen, I don't know how far this rabbit hole goes, but everybody's going to be talking about it, okay? There's a lot of people that say we shouldn't give her the energy. We shouldn't talk about it. Listen, this was too serious. People are going to talk about it, especially since it's a mystery right now. We want to know the results. People are going to talk about it. People are going to speculate. People are going to make jokes and all that. But my plea to everyone, okay, is that while we all know that this case took away from so many missing women out there, so many. In fact, since people are trying to say, because people are saying all kind of things, right? Some people are saying, oh, it had to be a white baby. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all this, okay? You want to hear another one of my opinions? Let's say Carlee did this. She faked her abduction. We can look at the statistics. I can pull it up and do all this, or we can just go ahead and get through this video because I don't have that queued up for you. But there is a great percentage of black women in America that go missing and they don't get coverage. And I'm sorry, but they don't really get taken seriously either, for various reasons, but that's just a fact, okay? If Carlee wanted this to spark and quickly, or she even wanted to guarantee it sparks, she didn't want to rub two rocks together and hope that she knew how to magically get a fire. She wanted to take a match. Then again, she wanted to use a lighter and flick it. She wanted to be sure she was going to get a fire. What was that match, or what was that lighter? The baby. And he was white. He was white. So now you don't see Carlee and you don't see the white baby. So we're going to want to know where that white baby went. So we're going to pay some attention. And of course, we cannot do this because the situation has passed. But let's just pretend that we understand how this world is and what goes on in this world. And we can even look up statistics if we want to just go off our own little merry little opinions and look at facts. And you can go back and put this story together without a white baby. I probably wouldn't even be talking about Carlee now, because most of us probably wouldn't even know who Carlee even is. The only reason why I'm even saying probably is because her family, they're not just poor. Okay? They're in a nice area. They're probably involved with their community. That gets you bonus points. Okay? And that means you probably know some people who know some people who know some people. You probably know plenty of people in your community that you're involved in. They have some kind of status or a voice. But that her saying a white baby, if she set this up, was used to make sure that she was going to make this spark. Okay? And people also would be likely to do what? Put up some money. Sacrifice their time and resources. Because to find Carlee is to find out what happened to their baby. So if we're going to make it about race, let's do that. Because to me, that makes more sense instead of saying, why say they're trying to start a race fight or a race war or whatever y'all trying to say, and then turn around and jump in on it too and make all these comments negatively about the privileges that you claim black people get or whatever, how shady this is to be used to try to get us to fuss. You're doing it. Let's just keep it real. There probably was not such a baby. And she probably said that not us, not the media. We heard the phone call. The chick said it was a baby and she said it was a white baby. So she did that. Because if she would have just left her car running with her wig and her purse in the car and people eventually found that probably wouldn't have. That happens all day, every day. Because women get abducted all day, every day in all kinds of situations, and we never hear anything about it. You don't have the whole world and the whole social media talking about these particular women. Okay? So let's use Carlee. Anytime you talk about Carlee, just look it up. Look up other women that are missing. You can look up women that are missing in your area. You can look up women that are missing in the United States, and not just black women. Since y'all want to claim it's about race, or it's a race attempt to start some beef between races, how about you take that power back and use Carlee's story to highlight? I'm not telling you to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 when there are thousands abducted, for real, still missing. Just put one in your video, okay? Because we're gonna end this with one. Put one in your video. Talk about Carlee. Get the views. Get the conversation going. Say what you gotta say. Check up on the story. And many times you want to talk about Carlee, and throw a real missing woman in there. To me, it doesn't make sense not to. Especially since one of the reasons why we're not happy with the situation so far is because it's taken away from the resources of other missing women. And not only that, we jealous as hell. Because there's plenty of missing women that still have not been returned home, and they didn't get none of this coverage. None of this coverage. But there is no poor innocent dad in this. Oh gosh, I didn't know I had the mom frozen like that. But there is no poor innocent dad This dad looks concerned. First of all, your daughter home. Yeah, this happened, but she's home. He looks to me, and this again, my opinion, he looks to me as if he would look if they were sitting there pleading for her to come back. No worry has left his face. None. You think this man will be worried? First of all, I got my daughter home, so that's all I need right there. And I'm not even a man, but I'm just gonna say, I got my daughter home. That's all I need right there. I ain't worried about nothing else. Because first of all, I got resources and I got money. Whoever it is, try it again. Try my family again. Think about it. Because I'm on the defense now. I ain't worried about nothing. I just got to get into action. How could he be sitting here comfortably? I don't care if they in their own home. I don't even want to turn my back this long to my daughter after she been taken to sit up here and do an interview with you just so I could tell people, oh, it's not what you think. Forget all that. If my wife want to go up there and do that, she can do that. I'm going back here because I got other things to do. It's time for me to start making sure my family is protected. And first of all, these people are still out here. And it's kind of bold, don't you think, to be dropping her off home, down the street from home, or whatever. But we all know where she lives, so if they're out there, they know where she lives. It'd be dumb to just sit up there and be like, well, they're not going to try to get her again. We don't know what criminals are going to do. Bold criminals. If you bold enough to take a body, a whole human being, I can't put nothing past you. So as a man with resources, I ain't worried about nothing. I'm taking care of my family. I'm securing my family all day. Okay? This man looks stressed. As if they're sitting there saying, whoever got her, please bring her home. He's stressed. He look like it's out of his hands. He look like he don't have control. It looked like as a man who solves problems and who fixes things and who protects his family, he is unsure of how he gonna protect his family from this. He looks as if he still got a lot of shit to figure out, and he don't know how that's gonna affect his status and his wealth and his future and all that kind of stuff. Is it gonna tear down everything he's built up? This man looks very worried.
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear.
Do you believe she was fighting for her life?
Oh, she definitely fought for her life. There were moments when she physically had to fight for her life, and there were moments when she had to mentally fight for her life.
But she made it back to you.
She made it back.
Yeah, she did make it back. All right, Priscilla, so investigators are obviously...
That's the only thing he said. That's the only thing he said is she made it back. Okay? Because he knows that's the only thing that's a true statement. She made it back. You understand? She made it back, but it's not over. It is far from over for this man and his family. And that is what we see here. Far from over. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm not getting ready to jeopardize everything that I've worked for because my child decided to do something crazy. Yeah, I want to help them, support them, want them to get well, and want to see them through and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not getting ready to get on TV. And people, I did not look through that. Okay, but people are saying that there was some monies donated and Crime Stoppers gave back some money, and there was some other donations made in other ways, and the family has not wanted to give that back. I have no idea about any of that, so I'm not going to speak on it, but there are all kind of allegations. Okay, I don't even really want to mention them because there's just social media talk about why she may have ran away. I know that Oh gosh, I still can't think of her name. I can see her face all day long. But Trump supporter, married to a white man. I can't even remember her name. But in her video, she brought out some of the allegations that maybe she ran off with another guy, or what was one of the other ones about her allegedly being pregnant or something. I don't know, but this one to me is baffling, because if you grow up in a quote unquote stable family, and a family that understands that in order to do well and be successful, you got to be there for each other and have conversations, take care of each other, and provide resources for each other, they would have been instilled in her, you have a problem, you come to mom and dad, we're gonna help you figure it out. We're not going to have you out here messed up. You get somebody bullying you at school, you come to mom and dad. We're going to figure out what's the best way to go about this. But we're not going to let them hurt you. We're not going to let them make you sad and ruin your chances of, just being a happy kid and being successful. And, you want to get good grades. And what's going on? Why you don't want to go to ballet practice? Oh, well, okay, so you get to the bottom of that. She knows if there is something, she can go to her family and they're going to help her fix it. I guarantee you that. And the family coming out here doing this interview when it's clear to us, on our assumption that this is fake, it just tells me that they have all made this decision collectively. Boyfriend, all that. Okay. And the woman that was the aunt or whatever, that's not her real aunt. I don't know who that woman is, but I could tell by the way she started off that she was just gossiping and all that. She probably is a lady that says she's the auntie that's her like character on social media, or she just, just getting a lick off this story. That's all I know. But let's get into a missing woman. Again, we're going to talk about a real missing woman that needs attention on her case, because she hasn't been found. Okay, so we don't have to complain about Carlee Russell taking up from other women who are missing and don't get this kind of coverage, because this is the perfect way to get at least one of the women that you're speaking of some coverage. You can put Carlee's name in your title for your post. I don't care what social media app you're on, and you can talk about her for 10, 20 seconds, and then you can go right into that person that is really, really missing. You can give your little statement about this story, so you can, okay, I didn't do technically clickbait, but I'm going to tell you about someone who does deserve the attention, because she is actually missing. And it just, all you got to do, same device you're using, go in there and type in for a missing woman. Here we are. Atlanta First News. Police are looking for a 21-year-old Atlanta woman who disappeared on 4th of July. Okay. And there is a picture here. It's only one picture. I did a Google search on her. I did not find any more pictures that were provided, or I would have shared as many as I could, because the more pictures you get of a person, then the more you can grasp what they actually look like. And this is the 4th of July of this year. Okay. Atlanta police are asking for your help to find 21-year-old woman after she disappeared on the 4th of July. Her name is Victoria Alizette Young, and she was last seen at her home along the block of 2000 Rhine Hill Road Southeast around 9:30 p.m. She is 5 feet 5 inches and weighs about 200 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes, and she may be wearing a purple shirt. Now, Atlanta police says Young has schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, okay? Hang on, y'all. Okay, someone had some unfortunate things going on over there. All right, so she has schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, as well as a developmental delay, which is a condition that sometimes impacts motor function, speech, language, and social interaction. If you see her, you are urged to call 911 or the Atlanta Police Department Missing Persons Unit at 404-546-4235. See how quick that was? Now, where's her picture? They had a picture of her up here. This is ridiculous. Hang on.
She was last seen at her home on Rhine Hill Road near Swan Preserve in southeast Atlanta. Police tell us she's developmentally delayed, has bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia. If you see her, you're asked to call 911.
Okay, that was... So when I type this woman's name in, all I keep getting is this very tiny picture. This is a prime example of what I am saying. These women go missing and they don't get enough coverage. One small picture. I can't find any more pictures other than that one tiny picture of this woman missing for whatever reason. Now, whatever it is or isn't going on in her family, as to why more information or more pictures, more interviews, I don't know, has not, them ringing bells on social media has not been put out. It still doesn't take away from the fact that this is a person. She matters and she's missing. Keep scrolling. All of these people. And this is just off of the name of Victoria. So, again, let's see if we can enlarge this picture. This is the one little picture of this woman. Imagine how many women out here go missing and don't get a portion of the coverage that Carlee has had. Think of all the coverage that Carlee has had, and think of all the women who you have not heard about, much less get the tiny amount of coverage that Victoria has gotten. 5'5", 200 pounds, brown hair, locks, brown eyes, and she has some disorders. Missing. But we're going to see what happens with Carlee Russell's case. And again, I urge you guys, if you're going to talk about Carlee, and you're going to talk about how much of a shame it is of what she did and what's going on and what could be, what cannot be, and the fact that other women haven't gotten this type of attention, I'm just going to question whether or not you just keep using this story for clickbait to build your platform, or you really care, because I can't for the life of me figure out why you would not also highlight an actual missing woman. It's the perfect opportunity to do it. Okay? Peace, y'all.